AI does not know things, it predicts things. I said this in the last video, and I'm guessing most of you, or at least part of you, thought, wow, that can't really be the whole story. Because if it's just predicting words, how can it write a full essay, explain such complex ideas, or even sometimes feel like it actually understands you? Now, that's exactly what we are going to understand today. So, what an LLM actually is. The tools you're using, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, are all built on something called as the Large Language Model, or LLM. Large because it's trained on an enormous amount of text. Like, we are talking of billions of web pages, books, articles, forums, codes, conversations, every text you can ever imagine. Language, it works with words, not images, not videos, not spreadsheets. At its core, it's just words, which is the human language. And model, because it's a mathematical system that learned patterns from all the text that was fed into it. So, an LLM is a system that learned how language works by reading most of what was on the internet and then got very, very, very good at continuing it. So you could give it a sentence and it could predict what could come next, and then it could predict words after that and after that, until it started generating paragraphs and pages and answers and theories, and whatnot. Like I said, it even surprised its creators to know that it was capable of generating so much generative AI, right? And yeah, it started doing this at scale, and that makes the output feel less like it's a prediction and more like it is thinking. But it's not, it's just prediction. It's just super good, like extraordinarily good at predicting. So, here's something that you should know about it beyond its learning, which is tokens. So, you hear this word a lot, which is tokens. Now, AI doesn't really read the text the way you and I do, word by word. It actually breaks language into chunks, which are called tokens. Now, token could be a word, a part of the word, or sometimes even just a punctuation mark. The word running could be one token, but probably the word unbelievable might be like split into two or three. It depends on how common the word is. And yeah, if I just have to give an analogy, like imagine a loaf of bread, you could eat it all together, but it's easier to like just slice and eat it. So tokens are these thin slices. So AI processes the processes language in slices and not the whole loaf. But why does it matter to you? So two reasons why it matters to you. Number one, every AI tool has a limit on how many tokens it can process or handle in one conversation. Now, that is called as the context window. So, that window is like this AI's thinking memory or AI's working memory. Like once you hit this limit, it starts to forget the earlier part of your conversation. So if you paste, say, like the entire 40 pages of a document into ChatGPT and then you ask to summarize it, it does not actually read all of it. It will just read as far as it has its context window and gives you a summary of that, which is why sometimes it feels very partial. And the second reason is tokens are how AI usage is measured and priced. So most tools charge by tokens. The more you write, the more you ask, the more it costs. So the like for free tiers, So for free tiers, it's why you sometimes hit these limits and then you just start feeling like it's talking gibberish because it doesn't have the context window that it should have earlier. So you don't really need to actually measure these tokens or count these tokens manually. You just need to know that these exist and that, longer conversations or like very long documents might push its limits. So, yeah, that's something about tokens that you need to remember. Next up is temperature. Now, here's something that most people don't realize about AI. If you ask it the same question twice, you might get two different answers. Now, it's not confusion, it's just designed that way. It's by design. So, there is this creativity setting called temperature, and that controls how predictable or how creative your AI can get when it's predicting something. So, if there is low temperature, AI picks up the most likely next word, like most boring, most reliable, most consistent, maybe a bit flat kind of an output. Whereas if it has high temperature, AI is allowed to like pick the less obvious words. The output is more varied, adventurous, creative, sometimes surprising, and sometimes incorrect too. So you could think of it like this volume knob for randomness. Like, you turn it down and you get you turn it down and you get very sensible, predictable assistant. Whereas you turn it up, you get something more playful, more interactive, more creative and fun kind of response. So most of these tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever you are using, they have the temperature managed automatically uh, at the back end. So you're not really touching it, but you just need to know that it depends on this temperature. And why AI can feel inconsistent, it's this very reason. So, yeah, it's the probability game that it is playing based on the temperature that is set already. That brings us to the bigger question. When you ask AI a question, why AI doesn't actually know all the things? Okay, so when you ask a question, it doesn't really look up an answer like Google does. It does not go and find an answer that exists somewhere on the internet. It is just generating a response that looks like an answer based on the pattern that it learned during the training with the data available. It's always doing this thing, predicting. And here's the uncomfortable truth about that. It can sometimes generate super confident answers, like super confident sounding answers, even when it does not have any reliable information about it. And it's not because it's lying, it just genuinely does not know the difference. We'll cover more about this in the next video because it deserves a lot more time and attention. Now you understand AI better than most people who actually use it every day. If you wish to deep dive into this free course on AI basics for non tech professionals, check out the link in the description. And next up is why AI makes things up and what you can do about it. If it sounds interesting, stay tuned.